let's talk about verbal jujitsu. You know, that special skill where the right words are way more powerful and honestly a lot more fun than just saying the obvious. Today, we are unlocking the lost art of the euphemism.
I mean, let's be real. Have you ever been in a situation, maybe dealing with an idiot in traffic or a frustrating coworker, and you just feel like our modern comebacks are, well, kind of uninspired, a little lazy, maybe even boring?
And hey, it's not just us. The author Linda Berdoll just nails this feeling. It's like we've fallen into this rut, you know? We're just recycling the same old swear words when there's this entire beautiful world of creative insults just waiting for us.
Okay, for example, what if instead of the usual stuff, you just dropped this little Latin gem on someone? Just let that roll around in your head for a second. What could that possibly mean? It sounds so sophisticated.
Well, loosely translated, it means shit for brains. See? A little bit of classical flair turns a basic insult into an absolute work of art. The best part? Your target might even have to go look it up later, which, let's be honest, is a win in itself.
And this, right here, gets to the heart of the matter. On one side, you've got the blunt instruments, the hammers we use today. But on the other, you have the verbal scalpels of the past. I mean, Shakespeare didn't just insult you. He painted this vivid, incredibly unflattering portrait of your very soul.
All right, so how do we get this lost art back? Well, first things first, let's stock up our arsenal for dealing with those folks who are, let's just say, cerebrally challenged.
You have to think about it this way. Your average swear word is a sledgehammer. It's loud, it's clumsy, there's no art to it. But a really well-chosen euphemism? Oh, that's a rapier. It's elegant, it's precise, and it leaves the other person wondering if they've just been insulted or maybe even complimented.
For instance, you might run into someone whose elevator just doesn't quite make it to the top floor. They're not just dumb. They are, in fact, a few bricks shy of a load. Or hey, for a more industrial vibe, maybe they're just dumber than a bag of hammers. You can almost hear that clanging sound in your head, can't you?
And this one might be my favorite, especially for someone who's all talk and no substance. They're all foam, no root beer. It's just this perfect, bubbly, yet totally empty description.
Okay, so we've got how to talk about other people covered. But what about those moments when we need to excuse ourselves? This is where the art of the graceful exit comes in.
The act itself is, well, pretty universal. The source material describes it so clinically as the act of befouling the air. But the words we can use to describe it? Oh, they can be anything but clinical.
Yeah, forget a simple fart, why not a backdoor trumpet? Or maybe you've been the victim of butter's revenge. A really loud one could be called a rouser, while the sneaky quiet one is, of course, pocket thunder. It just goes to show how language can turn something totally mundane into something magnificent.
And that's the whole point, right? These phrases are social lubricants. They let us communicate what we need to do without being crass about it. Traditionally, guys had a whole garage full of excuses, while women usually kept it simple and elegant.
All right, so moving on from the bathroom to the bedroom, there's maybe no other area of human life that is so full of creative euphemisms as, well, you know, making the beast with two backs.
In fact, you can think of it like a simple formula. It's kind of like a mix and match game. You just pick an adjective from column A, a noun from column B, and boom, you've got an amorous congress. Or maybe a horizontal refection. How about a midnight hula? You can literally create dozens of polite, funny ways to describe the act.
So we've got insults for fools, excuses for the restroom, and tons of names for intimacy. But what does all of this add up to? Well, it adds up to a whole new kind of power, a verbal weapon.
You know, Mark Twain famously said that clothes make the man, and the exact same thing is true for our words. Raw, naked language. It just gets ignored most of the time. But when we dress our thoughts up in clever phrasing, people have no choice but to stop and pay attention.
And this really reveals the ultimate goal, doesn't it? It's not just about being funny or being rude. It's about using language with precision. A perfectly crafted euphemism will sail right over the head of the ignorant, but it'll delight the intelligent people who are in on the joke. It's kind of like an intellectual secret handshake. So you see, this is way more than just a list of funny old-timey phrases. It's a completely new way to think about how you communicate. You now have the tools to be wittier, sharper, and way more memorable. So the only real question left is, how are you going to use them?